The darkness continues.
Thursday, D, X, L. It's
Dark Exodus.
live. Open your mind.
Dark Exodus. Dark Exodus. The protester. Dark Exodus. Open your mind.
You know.
Yeah, X.
You know.
Dark Exodus. You understand? Yeah, X.
You know.
You understand? Open your mind. Dark X. Yeah, X.
You know.
You understand? dark Exodus, dark Exodus, dark Exodus, dark Exodus.
And we are back. Bespoke. And welcome back to another edition of the Proper Thought series right here on the old T.P.O.T YouTube page. I'm your host, X, of course, but you knew that already. That's why y'all black asses are here. Tonight, we're mixing it up a little bit because that's something we're going to be doing in the next couple of months. We're going to be mixing it up a little bit. And tonight we're doing a dark Exodus, but it's dark Exodus debates. So we're kind of combining the old Hour of Power debates with the old dark Exodus series. And tonight, as you can see scrolling down there, tonight we're talking about out for justice and out for vengeance. And tonight I'm going to open the panel up pretty early for people to come up on. We're not going to wait. People want to come in. We're going to let them come in and talk about this. But we're going to talk about a little vengeance and we're going to talk about a little justice tonight. So hang in there and stay tuned. But before we get started, y'all know I always start the stream off with thanking you good folks for your likes, your shares, your views, your subs, and of course, your hard-earned pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, and 50-cent pieces. Because I realize you don't have to do it, man. You don't have to show up to these goddamn streams. You don't have to like these videos, share them. You don't have to sub to this channel. And you definitely don't have to drop your hard-earned coins on this platform. But you good folk choose to do so, man. Night after night, day after day, week after week, month after month, you are here when you can be anywhere. And I want you good folks to know, man, I do not take you lightly, man. I never have and I never will. I know I get up here and I say a lot of shit you don't like. And I'm going to continue to do so. But one thing I will never do is disrespect you. And I will never take you lightly or take you for granted. You got my word on that. I'm humbled. I'm honored. I'm appreciative, man. And more than anything else, man, I'm thankful that y'all choose to hang out with me, the good folks out there, and the good folks in here. All right? All right. So let's get at it. But y'all know, before we start, I got to get to what I believe is one of y'all favorite parts of the stream, because we never run out of these stories. And you got my word on it that we never will. It's that part of the show we refer to as the old mama of the day. These old mamas. Yes, time for the old mama of the day, because y'all know we never freaking run out of them, and we never will, unfortunately. But today's old mama of the day hails from California. And as you can see in the headline, it says, woman accused of murdering her 3 young children sees first day in court. Merced, California, Fox 26, a 31-year-old woman accused of murdering her 3 young children made her first court appearance Wednesday in Merced. The county's district attorney's office says Patricia Ortiz faces 3 counts of murder, along with lying in wait and special circumstances alleging multiple murder. According to the Merced County Sheriff's Office, 3 children aged between 3 and 8 years old were found dead inside of a LeGrand apartment on January 12th around 2:10 p.m. Deputies also found Ortiz with a self-inflicted wound from a failed suicide attempt. Now, y'all know what I think about this shit, right? And know what I think about this nonsense. These women always are successful with killing the babies, but seem to always fail in killing themselves. Isn't that convenient? But it continues. Ortiz was then taken to the hospital and later booked into the Merced County Jail. And there's the three little tykes there, all murdered by their old mama. A GoFundMe account was created to help with the funeral expenses for her children, Alexa 3, Mateo 5, and Anna 8. If you'd like to donate to the GoFundMe, click here. Now, this story here, they don't tell you, and here's the old mama here looking crazy. They don't tell you the specifics of the story, but I read up on it later on, and because they didn't say how she was murdered, how she murdered the kids. What she did was she shot them. She actually sat back, wait for them to come home, and she shot them. Then she tried to, quote unquote, shoot herself, but somehow the paramedics were able to revive her, and she's alive, and she's walking around and all that kind of stuff. She's actually had a court appearance. She's up and at 'em and just as lively as hell. Like I said, for some reason, these old mamas can always manage to murder the children, but always fail at murdering themselves, which, like I said, is quite convenient. Like I tell y'all every night, we will never run out of these stories. I'll be telling you these stories as long as I'm on YouTube. Because unbeknownst to most of us, and the only reason why I know this is because I look a lot of this crap up, 200 women, an average of 200 women every year kill their children. So that means at least 200 children are killed by their mothers every single year in the United States. Now, that's if each woman only has one child, which we know that's not the case because this woman right here had 3. So we know at least 203 were killed this year. So it could be 300, it could be 400, it could be 500. We don't know. And I was talking about this last night, and I don't think it's taken seriously in this country. I just don't believe it's taken seriously. And I don't think it ever will be until the numbers get to 5,000 or 10,000 a year. Then maybe, just maybe, it will be taken seriously and more people will be talking about it besides me. Because, of course, these stories pop up in the news and in articles and online magazines and such, but they're usually buried and forgotten. And those kids are usually buried and forgotten. But here we don't forget about them. We talk about them. I download these stories. I save these stories. I have an archive. And one day I'm going to put them all together and, I don't know, maybe show them to y'all, put them in video form. I don't know what I'm going to do. But they're not forgotten about here. Every story I do here, I keep. I archive it. I don't just throw it away or delete it. I archive it. Because these kids will not be forgotten here. And it's not like it's just black kids or just white kids or Latino kids. It's all the kids I've ever done on this page. They may be buried and forgotten by the news organizations. They may be buried and forgotten by these online magazines. They may be buried and forgotten by the people who I tell the stories to. But they will never be buried and forgotten here. They will always live on. Their stories will live on inside my hard drive. They won't be forgotten here, folks. And I'm pretty sure they won't be forgotten by the people who watch T.P.O.T. All right? All right. So that is our old mama of the day. But let's get at it, because tonight I want to talk to y'all about vengeance and justice, or justice and vengeance. I want to set up a scenario for y'all. Imagine, now follow me, because this is dark Exodus, so it will get dark. But imagine something happening to you, to someone in your family. Imagine someone murdering your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your son, your daughter. And imagine this person murders them, and they somehow manage to get away. People know who this person is. This person might even be on videotape, because you know how these murders and, video cameras are everywhere, and they catch the photo of the person doing it. They catch the photo of the person leaving the scene, or heading toward the scene, or in an argument with this family member that they ultimately killed. But this person hasn't been caught yet. And you know who this person is. A day goes by, a week goes by, a month goes by, and this person still has not been caught yet. This person who killed your brother, who you were very close to. This person who killed your father. This person who killed your mother, or your son, or your daughter, or your niece, or your nephew. And you know who this person is. You see his image on your television. You know who he is. In fact, you know his people. You know where he hangs out. You're familiar with the places that he frequents. And this person hasn't been caught. And it bothers you. So what do? You load up your gun. You put it in your jacket. You leave. You go to where you know this person may be. You get there. You see this person. You see him walking around. You see him laughing. You see him enjoying himself. It burns you up because you know what he's done. But you wait. You wait till he walks away, or walks to his car, or goes around the side of a building to take a leak. And you walk up on him. And you call his name. Hey, Demarion Quavius. And when he turns around, you let it go. Kaplow. 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 What have you done? Maybe in your mind, you've achieved justice. In your mind, this is justice. He killed my brother. He wasn't getting caught. He wasn't arrested. So I went. I found him. An eye for an eye. This is my justice. So you win. What's good, Brother Lawrence? I see you up there, brother. Brother BMT in the house. What's good, Brother BMT? Dark Exodus, man, you better get up here, brother. Shout out to Brother BMT. In your mind, you have achieved justice, right? Justice have been served. You lower your gun and you walk away. You don't even run away, you walk. But there's a caveat. What if someone's seen you leaving the area? What if someone saw you coming into the area? Or what if you were caught on videotape? Now you are the killer. Not just to the people that care about the man who you killed, but also to law enforcement. And now you are being looked for. Even if you're not being looked for by people who cared about him, you're being looked for by law enforcement. Because people know you did it. So did you really get justice? Or did you get vengeance? Now I know we think that justice. What's good, Brother A Truism? I see you up there, brother. Now I know that justice and vengeance is often confused, right? Because vengeance keeps going on, right? This person has killed your brother. This person has killed your father. You go, you kill this person. And now, the people who loved him, they're looking for you. Because they want vengeance for what you did. They're not concerned with what he did now. They are concerned with what you did. So vengeance keeps rolling forward, doesn't it? He killed your brother. His brother looks for you, kills you. Whoever loves you looks for the person who kills you. It never stops. But I believe justice has an end. Now, justice may not make us feel better, because justice isn't necessarily an eye for an eye, right? This person kills your family member. He gets caught by the police. He goes on trial. He's found guilty. He goes away for 50 years, 60 years, 70 years, life. Never to be seen again by anyone. Now, technically, that is what we know as justice, right? The system did what it was supposed to do. Because it's not like his people are going to now go to the police department and kill the police. for locking him up or killed the district attorney for putting him on trial, right? So justice brings things to an end. Vengeance does not. And the reason why I gave y'all that scenario, because I believe us as a people, many of us, we don't believe in justice. We believe in vengeance. We want payback, right? We want payback for what white folks did to our ancestors. We want payback for slavery. We want payback for redlining and all the prejudices and the death of many black leaders. Now, we may disguise it as wanting justice. We want this social justice for our people. But I don't think we really want quote unquote justice. Because like I said, justice kind of brings things to an end, right? Justice rights a wrong done, right? Like I said earlier, someone kills a member of your family, they go to prison, they're gone for the rest of their life. That's the quote unquote justice. Brings it to an end. You know, this person will never be seen or heard from again outside of those penitentiary walls. You will never have to worry about that person killing someone again. You will never have to worry about that person doing to someone else's brother or father or son what he did to your brother, father, or son. But when it comes to vengeance, vengeance is different, isn't it? Because if you take vengeance and kill this person, someone can just as easy come looking for you to kill you. We see it all the time, right? We see it with the rappers. We see it with gangs. We see it. Someone gets killed. Now someone kills that person who killed this last person. And it goes back and forth like playing ping pong. You killed my man, I kill you. Your man kills me. My other man kills his man. It's like a ping pong table. It's like tennis. Back and forth. Back and forth. Those bullets go both directions, right? Because it's vengeance. It is not justice. Because the cycle never ends. It has the potential to never end. And I think a lot of us are caught in the loop of vengeance as a people. We want payback. That's why we get so happy. We get so overjoyed when we see something done to somebody that we think has wronged us. I watch it here on my own channel. I watch the joy and the glee being written in the chat room when a black person is giving a white person the business. They're like, yeah! Good shit, man. Now, mind you, if that same person was doing that to another black person, they would call it niggertry. Oh, it's niggertry over there on T.P.O.T. Oh, look at them niggertry. It's niggified. But no one calls it niggertry when they see them doing it to a Latino person or a white person. Not considered niggertry then, is it? Because we want to get that vengeance vicariously through someone else, if only through this. Because for some reason, many of us, we believe that vengeance is justice. But what we don't understand is that with vengeance, things never come to an end. Like I said, it has the potential to just keep going on and on and on and on. Justice will bring things to an end, even if the end isn't necessarily what you wanted. With the scenario of someone killing your family member, killing your brother, you may have wanted to kill that person. You may have wanted that person to be thrown in a pool full of sharks. You may have wanted that person shot with a flamethrower. You may not have wanted that person to go to prison for the rest of their life. But that is ultimately the justice, right? Because it brings it to an end. What I believe as a black man myself is that we don't really want to bring an end to the wrong. I think we want it to continue. Because if it truly ends, what would we bitch about? What would we cry about? What would we march for? What would we complain about? If it all ended today, if prejudice, bigotry, discrimination all ended today, now what? Would we stop talking about it? Would we stop referring to it? Would we stop bringing it up? We wouldn't. So in a sense, I just don't believe we want quote unquote justice. Because justice would bring it to an end. We don't want it to end. We want it to continue. We want to be able to cite the wrongs. We want to use the wrongs as justification for other things. Because if you take those things away, you've also taken away the excuses for some of the shit that goes on with our people. You take those things away, we have to look inward instead of outward, wouldn't we? That's why I know we don't want it to end. Ending it would mean all the things we refer to in the past would have less meaning. Because if there is no more racism, there is no more prejudice, there is no more bigotry, there is no more discrimination, that would be our quote unquote justice. Would it not? That would be righting the wrong. Would it not? That would be our justice. And once we have achieved justice, there would be no more need for vengeance, would it? We have achieved justice. So there would be no need for the vengeance. But we want the vengeance. We want it, we need it, we crave it. It lives in our heads. It lives in our hearts. We don't want to right the wrong. We want an eye for an eye. We want to see people on their knees. We want to be able to do whatever we want. And no one have anything to say about it. We want to get away with things that we know are wrong. We want to live any kind of way. Do any kind of thing. We want to make our own rules. We want to live by this whatever set of guidelines and chalk it all up to what now? Because see, as long as we want the vengeance, we can always chalk it up to a wrong. Because if we ever receive the quote unquote justice, that means the wrong has been righted. Therefore, we can't defer to the wrong. Let's go back to the person killing someone who was close to you. This person's been locked up. They're in prison for what they did. They killed your brother. They're doing life. That was the justice, right? Do you now go and kill their brother? Which wouldn't be justice, would it? That would be vengeance. Because the justice has already been served. Or the perceived justice, the alleged justice has already been served. They killed your brother. Do you now go and kill their brother? That would not be justice. That too would be vengeance. And I want y'all to understand what I'm talking about. Because I say again, I think many of us, we don't believe in justice. We believe in vengeance. I think we believe that everything we do as a people is somehow justified because of wrongs in the past. That is our vengeance. Our right to do the things we do. The criminality in certain parts of black society. The dysfunction. The problems. The lack. Because we can chalk all of that up to what was done to black people years ago. So being able to do these things, to live this way, is our vengeance. This is our vengeance. Because I believe our justice would be not falling into the category of dysfunction, deviancy. I think our justice would be being better, achieving, as opposed to obtaining. Being focused as opposed to being frivolous. Being functional as opposed to being dysfunctional. I think that would serve as justice. But maybe I'm wrong. And I'm just an old fool talking. But, like I said, I'm going to open it up early. If people want to come through, we only about 45 minutes in. And who the hell is calling me? They know better this time of night, god damn it. They already know. Probably my daughter or somebody. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just an old fool talking. Just an old fool talking. Just an old fool talking. So what do y'all think? Justice or vengeance? What's better? What's worse? What makes sense? What doesn't? What serves us? What doesn't? What makes us better? What makes us worse? As black people, what should we be seeking? I don't want to know what we are seeking. I want to know what should we be seeking, individually or collectively. What is going to help us more? Receiving justice or obtaining vengeance? Because I say again, I think vengeance is more temporary. I think vengeance is short term. It's now. Payback. I think justice is more so for the long haul. I think justice is more so permanent. You often hear people who are victims of crimes. Something happens to a family member or a spouse or a child, and they say, this brings closure. Which I don't believe. I don't believe there's no true quote unquote closure where, because this person does life in prison, you now feel better about them killing this person you loved. I think you feel better because you know this person has been caught. They haven't gotten away with it. Because, see, the justice isn't really for them, right? For that person who committed this act, it's more punishment, it's punitive. The justice is for you, that person's family, that person's friends. The justice is for them. Y'all are familiar with the term brought to justice. I think you can only be given, quote unquote, justice if you're accused of something that you did not do. That's when you can so-called be given justice because you did not do this thing. And it's proven that you didn't do it. And you're giving your life back. You're giving your time back. You're giving your ability to move freely back. Now you have received justice. But if you're a person who has committed an act and you have done something wrong, you've hurt someone, you've killed someone, you've robbed someone, you can only be brought to justice. I don't think you're really receiving it per se. Because at that point, you are receiving punishment. If it's proven that you really did this thing, whatever it is, it's punitive. But vengeance is different. Vengeance is payback. Y'all got to excuse the train, man. This freight train is only like, I don't know, half a mile, 3/4 of a mile away from my house. So for some reason, as soon as I get on the mic, hear this motherfucker go, sounding like it's driving through my fucking backyard. But vengeance is different, right? Vengeance evens the score. I do something to you, you do something to me. And if I don't like what you did to me, I do something to you again. You don't like what I did to you, you do something to me again. Because we see it, right? We see it here on media. This person makes a live stream about this person. Then the next person makes a live stream about that person. And they go back and forth, 2 and 3 and 4 live streams apiece. Seeking vengeance on each other. It just keeps bouncing. There's no justice involved there. Because justice has an end point, right? It ends somewhere. Vengeance can go back and forth forever. No matter who started it. I've heard stories where 5 and 6 people have been killed because of vengeance. This person kills somebody. That person's family member. If they can't get this person who killed their brother, their friend, they'll kill their brother, kill their friend. Bring other people into it. You killed my friend. You killed my brother. So now they'll go and try to kill him. Or kill his brother. Or kill his friend. And now his brother and his friend come back to kill these people. It's like the Hatfields and the McCoys. This eternal hate for one another. All started by one act, right? Because this vengeance thing starts somewhere, right? Someone did something to someone else. Someone said something a person didn't like. Did something a person didn't like. That person goes and does something to them. possibly kill them. And now it begins, right? It starts here, goes back there. Then it leaves from there, comes back here. Things like this never end. I believe the only reason why we don't see more killings in the streets, especially when you're talking about in the inner cities, these revenge killings, these acts of vengeance, is because the opportunities have not presented themselves. They haven't ran into the brother of the man who killed their brother. They haven't ran into him. The opportunity hasn't presented itself. The opportunity for vengeance. Because if we really believed in justice, the whole no snitching thing wouldn't exist. We wouldn't let people be around us who we know have killed people. Because even if we weren't willing to drag this person down to the police station or call the cops on this person, we would shun them. We would get them away from us. And in that very case, we would be doling out some degree of justice, right? Because we would say, hey, look, man, you killed this guy. We don't fucking want you around here. Leave this neighborhood. Leave this part of town. Go somewhere else. But we don't do that, do we? People can walk around us that we know have killed people, murdered people. They can kill people we know. We can know them. They can kill one of our family members. And we will let them just walk around us and be around us and be in places where we are. What kind of justice is that? That's not justice or vengeance. That is apathy. That is us being complicit when we allow people who we know have done these things to just continue to be around us. Because in instances like that, we could enforce some justice even if we aren't enforcing vengeance. But we don't do it. We refuse to do it. Because, see, we are more wrapped up in pride, right? Because we are taught to keep secrets, keep our mouths shut. Don't talk about these things. It's all part of being a black person. But we learn this as children, don't we? What are we told? Don't talk about what's going on in this house. I often talk to y'all about the violation of children. What are those children told? Don't you talk about what goes on in this house. This is family business. But that shit ain't family, nor is it business. And in a lot of instances, I don't believe we are interested in justice or vengeance. We're interested in not associating with the shame that comes along with those kind of things. Because there is no justice for a child who was violated, and for that person who violated to never face any consequences or repercussions. Where's the justice for that child? And it's surprising that you don't see more vengeance, that you don't see more children who went through this, grow up, become adults, and seek vengeance on these people who violated them and hurt them when they were children. Because of the lack of justice. Because when there is a lack of justice, the only thing left is vengeance, right? The only thing left is vengeance. So it's almost like many of us are programmed to just seek vengeance because we are taught there is no justice. The wrongs never get righted. So there's nothing left except vengeance. So aren't we being programmed to look at everything that way? Not just the wrongs that were committed against us personally, individually, but wrongs on a grand scale. Wrongs that we've read about in history books. Wrongs that we've seen on old black and white documentaries. Wrongs that get talked about here and on your television. We don't see any justice for those wrongs, do we? So the only thing left is vengeance. But how long do we live with the vengeance? How long do we seek it? How long do we carry this need for vengeance in our minds? How long? Do we carry it forever? Do we teach it to our descendants? Do we carry this around because we think there is no true justice? Are we right to think that there is no justice? Because we don't have the ability to, quote unquote, bring this person, these people, this entity, this system, we cannot bring it to justice. Therefore, we will never see it. We will never experience it. We will never witness it. Therefore, we need vengeance. We need something. If the wrong can't be righted, God damn it, we need something that's going to make us feel better at least. That eye for an eye. That temporary feeling of gratification that we won one. Score one for us. But we're sort of like the person whose brother was killed. Going out, killing the brother of the person who killed their brother. What's the difference? An eye for an eye. Because eventually you run out of eyes, right? You have a finite number of eyes. We all have two. So at what point do we stop seeking vengeance and seek justice? Or have we spent a lot of our time confusing the two? Maybe we do. Maybe we will continue to. I don't know. But at some point, I believe that gaining justice is not only easier than getting vengeance. Gaining justice is less problematic. Because creating justice, you can do that on your own. You can decide You can decide that what you do is justice. You can decide. Especially if you are concerned with the wrongs that were done to your people, to your family. You can decide what your justice is. Just like the person's brother who was killed, he can decide what his justice is. Going to kill that person would be vengeance. But your justice can be something else. Your justice can be making sure that people like him get no love where you are. That can be your justice. Getting justice can be given an impact statement at his trial. Getting justice can be many things. Justice can be moving your family away from these Negroes who walk around and kill folks haphazardly. You can make that your justice. Multiple things you can do. But your options for vengeance are somewhat limited, aren't they? Kill him, kill his brother, kill one of his family members. Because, see, that's the thing with vengeance, right? To reap true vengeance, you have to become just like the person who slighted you. You have to do something that's on the level at least of what they did or something even worse, right? Someone slaps you, you have at the very least slapped them back for it to be vengeance or greater. Slap them or greater. Because if someone slaps you, you do nothing, that is not vengeance, right? That is not vengeance for that slight, for that slap. That is not vengeance. But with justice, this person slaps you. You can achieve justice many ways and not become like that person. Because I say again, when it comes to vengeance, you have to match that person right. It has to be proportionate to whatever that person did for it to be truly vengeance. Someone slaps you at an event. You decide not to slap them back. because you know the organizer of the event. You make sure this motherfucker never gets back in another one. Even ones that you are not there. Now that can be looked at as vengeance too. But it's more like justice. Because, see, you didn't become like that person. Someone steals your truck. Would you want vengeance or justice? Someone steals my truck. I'd be pissed, of course. I'd be pissed because I let them get the hell out of this yard with it. And they left out of here without any bullets in their body. I'd be pissed. But once they've got my truck and gone, I don't think I want vengeance. I don't think I would be riding around looking for my truck, and when I found them, I would shoot them. I saw them riding around in my truck. I probably would just get on the phone and call the police and say, look, my truck is on X street, X block. I see him, I'm following them. This is my truck. They stole it. I don't think I would ram the truck and pull out the gun and start shooting, and because that would be vengeance. That wouldn't be justice. This dude locked up for stealing my shit would be justice. Because with vengeance, you have put yourself in the same predicament that this person was in. Like I told y'all at the top of the stream. You could find this person, kill this person, shoot this person. But just like the cops were looking for him, you and maybe your boys and your brother was looking for him. You killed this guy. Now you have people looking for you. And not just his brothers or his friends, also the police. So they stopped looking for him because, see, he's in a plastic bag off to the morgue. So now the focus comes off of him. Now it's on to you. You become the wanted perpetrator. You become the killer. You become the people they got an APB on. You become the person that the cops call armed and dangerous. Yes, you've gotten your quote-unquote justice for the wrong. Your quote-unquote vengeance for the wrong. But now people are looking to bring you to justice. Because, see, even though you went and achieved your vengeance, and that vengeance you may label as justice, now you become the person that needs to be brought to justice now. And only if someone does not find you and reap vengeance. Because either way, you're either going to get vengeance or justice. Either way, you're going to get one of them. You will get vengeance brought upon you by the people who cared about this person if they run into you. You will get brought to justice. You will get brought to justice if law enforcement finds you. Because now that you have went out and sought vengeance, you have put yourself in a position to not only get return vengeance, you have also put yourself in a position where you can be brought to justice. But like I said, go ahead and open it up. Oh shit, I got a couple. If you ask for the link, sorry y'all, I was running my damn mouth. If you ask for the link, go ahead, check your spam. Check your spam. Check your spam if you ask for the link. Brothers. I said I was running my mouth. I wasn't even paying attention, God damn it. Just talking. Just said, if you ask for the link, check your spam. Check your spam if you ask for the link. I mean, this is the way I've always thought of these things. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just an old Negro that's wrong. But when I was younger, I believed in vengeance. I believed in that whole eye for an eye thing. I believed in becoming whatever handed me a slight. I believed in becoming that. I mean, you shot at me, I shot at you. You try to kill me, I try to kill you. I mean, now that I'm older, it would take a lot more for me to want to harm someone. I mean, you would have to put me in that position. I mean, I'm not going to actively just go ahead and do something to somebody. I mean, that's not even my style. Just jump out and do it. Now, if you knew me 30-some years ago, totally different story. But even when it comes to, pulling heat or something like that on somebody, I mean, you're only going to get that shit if you try to, like, threaten me, threaten my family, or, try to come up in my house or break into my shit. It would have to be that. I mean, I'm not the one that you're going to see out there just in the street shooting folks. All right. I've seen people shot over arguments. I've seen people shot over misunderstandings. I'm not the type of person where if you and I get into some type of argument that now I think you have to die because of it. Because that is like short-term vengeance, right? That's not justice. That's short, temporary vengeance. That is not justice. We see that kind of stuff on the street all the time, right? People getting shot and killed over the littlest of slights. Shot, killed over an argument. Shot, killed over a fight. Shot and killed over words. We just saw a few weeks back. What's the brother's name who the coach was killed at the Little League football game? He was killed, man, because they got into a little scrap out there at a pee-wee football game. Someone had a gun out there. A gun. With kids 12 and under play football. Someone brought a gun out there. The coaches and the coach assistants got into some words. The next thing you know, they were tussling, and the next thing you know, a coach is dead over a Little League football game. Was it worth it? Did that man have to die over that? Over a Little League football game? What goes on in the mind of a man who feels the need to bring his pistol to a Little League football game? Not just have it, but have it on him. Not in the truck, not under the seat, but had it on him at the time of the disturbance. Pulled it out, pow, 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 pow. The coach is dead. And the dude, I'm pretty sure y'all heard about this story. The dude who shot him, he's the brother of a former NBA player, I believe. In fact, let me pull this up. Let me pull it up for y'all. Pull it up. This was actually in Texas, I believe. The youth football coach, his name was, in fact, I'll do even one better. I'll show it to y'all so y'all can see it for yourselves. His name was Michael Hickman, was his name. And Michael Hickman was a Little League football coach in Texas. And after the game, it was all over and matter of fact, let me just read y'all the article. It says here, Texas youth football coach was killed during an argument about the score of a game, witnesses told police according to court documents. Witnesses says that Yaqub Taib pulled out a handgun and shot Michael Hickman, 43, during a fight about the score at the youth contest Saturday night in Lancaster, Texas, according to a police affidavit. Before the shooting, the opposing coaches' crews were arguing about calls by the refs, police have said, citing witnesses' reports. The altercation became physical, leading to the suspect pulling out a firearm and shooting Hickman multiple times, police said. Witnesses knew Taib because of his involvement in the youth league, the police affidavit says. Yaqub Taib, 39, brother of retired NFL cornerback Aqib Taib, turned himself into authorities Monday after police in Lancaster said he was wanted on a warrant for first-degree murder in the coach's weekend slaying. Mr. Taib regrets the tragic loss of life, but turned himself into the law so he could tell his side of the story, his attorney, Clark Birdsall, said. Birdsall declined to comment on the specifics, but said that there are some defensive issues, and Yaqub Taib looks forward to being able to have his day in court. Now, no one's really talking about this case, right? No one's really discussing it. I know a lot of you, this is probably the first time you're hearing about it. Now, this guy here, from what I understand, was a good dude. He coached the Little League football team. I think he often used, a lot of times, they said that he would work extra shifts so he would have extra money to, pay for their uniforms, one of those type of guys, a community guy. Now, they get into a scrap, and he's killed by this brother of the former NFL player. Now, let's pull up Yaqub Taib. How much y'all want to bet that this man got a rap sheet a mile long? How much y'all want to bet that he's been in all kind of trouble and shit before? How much do y'all want to bet? Now, mind you, football coach, man who obviously cares about young children, spends time with them, probably a mentor to some of them, because most of them ain't got no damn daddies. The quote-unquote good dude, right? How much you want to bet that this guy that killed him probably has all kinds of shit on his record? I'm looking. And what's good, man? My Chi-Town brother is here, brother Perfect Black. What's good with it, Perfect Black, man?
What's good, brother? Can you hear me?
Yeah, man. I'm pretty sure you heard about this Hickman case, right?
Yeah, I heard about the Hickman case, man, and that kind of bothered me, man. As a football coach myself, that bothered me.
Yes, I know. You coach football, too.
Yeah, I'm late because I was out there doing Edison family stuff.
So let me ask you this, because you're out there in Chicago, right?
Yep.
And we know a lot of shit goes on in Chi-Town. But is it ever a need for someone like an assistant coach or somebody on the sideline or a referee to have a pistol in their pocket at a pee-wee football game?
There should never be that, but we do have a couple, but they're in law enforcement. Actually, we almost had an issue this last weekend at our game, and it was a law enforcement guy out there, and he had his piece on him. But that's normally law enforcement. I don't know anyone, and we actually have a policy. We tell them even if they have conceal and carry, that we don't want them to conceal and carry out there with these kids. So no, there's never a reason for anyone to come out to the game strapped with their damn guns. It's just unless you're in law enforcement, you shouldn't be out there with no goddamn gun. You just shouldn't be.
Yeah, I mean, because they got into this school out there, obviously over a bad call by the ref, or
Yeah, and that's how
and
that's what it's always over that right there.
yeah, I mean, and the man loses his life, man. The coach loses his life over a bad call by the ref.
Exactly.
A man shouldn't lose his life over that.
Exactly. I mean, and far too many times you got a lot of parents, and I see this a lot too. You have too many parents who live vicariously through their own kids. You know, they didn't go to college or go to the league, so they want their kids to go, and they think their kids are better than what they really are, and all that type of stuff. And that's where that mess comes from. That's where it comes from. And they just take it way too serious. You
Yeah,
take
the
it
whole
way too serious.
living vicariously through the kid, like, I mean, it's and it sets a bad precedent for the children, right? Because
Yeah.
because all those kids were out there. It's not like the kids weren't there, man. The kids were like out there on the field, and now you got little kids running and screaming and hollering, and it's
Hmm.
gunshots going on, and I mean, it just sets a bad, bad precedent all the way around, all over some little tiny, tiny beef where someone hands out temporary vengeance. Because that's all it is,
Yeah.
a temporary moment of vengeance. This man loses his life out there, and now this guy's life is over.
It's over. It's done.
Yeah,
You'll
it's
never,
over.
you'll never see the light of day again. And was it worth it?
Nope, nope. I
You know?
mean,
And these
it's,
things are supposed to be family events. I know the way we do it. We
yes,
always build these things as family events. You know, we always build them as family. These are, especially our home games, are real big. Have barbecue out there. We always have a DJ out there. So these are, I know our home games are really, really big deals. So, and there's a lot of people out there. It's what, maybe 1,000 people, about 1,000 or so people out there, you know, all at one time, either, from both sides, from both teams. And we try to be hospitable to the other team and everything. I know I get real animated, coaching the games. They always be ready to kick me out the games because I'll be getting at it, but not to the point to where I'm gonna pull out a gun or I want to get physical with one of the refs. You're supposed to set an example for these kids. But that's ultimately what it's about. It ain't about you at that moment. It wasn't about the kids to him. It was all about him. It's all about him.
exactly, exactly. And
It's all about him
I,
and his ego.
because a lot of those children out there, man, will never be the same
No,
after seeing
not
that.
after they seeing that. No, they ain't gonna be the same.
Because from what I understand, man, this coach, man, was a really, really good dude, man. He,
Yeah,
he
from what
mentored a
I
lot
from
of
what I
these.
heard, he is. Yeah.
Yeah, he mentored a lot of these kids, man. He kind of was like a father figure, for a lot of these children, man. And those children watch him be murdered out there, man.
Hmm. And they're not gonna get counseling because probably half the
No,
parents can't afford counseling.
nope, nope.
So there's more trauma that's gonna go unanswered in the black
Yep,
community.
yep,
More
yep.
trauma.
I mean, tonight, I wanted to talk about, vengeance and justice. And I think those two things get mixed up, you know.
Hmm.
I think that we are often out for vengeance, and we label it as justice. But I think vengeance, like I've been saying all night, I think vengeance is temporary. It's a
It's
short
fleeting.
term thing. Yes.
It's a fleeting emotion. You
Yep.
know? It's
Yep.
fleeting.
Justice is a little more long term. It's a little more permanent. And as far as we go, I think that fleeting sense of vengeance takes hold of a lot of us, man. It takes hold of a lot of us, and it causes us to do some stupid things that not only alter our lives, also ruin our lives at times.
Hmm.
Ruins our lives, man. Because
Among
this
other
brother,
people's lives.
yes, and ruin other people's lives as well, yes, as well.
But
And go ahead.
when I look at that situation, I don't. It's hard for me to look at that and call it vengeance. That was just sheer and utter stupidity. I mean,
Yeah,
that's all it was. That was sheer, utter stupidity. I think calling it vengeance, kind of doesn't do it a little bit just not. And I know where you're coming from, but that there was just sheer stupidity. That was the worst of us, you know. And then we see it too. I mean, you see some of these guys come out to the game, they be doing all the talking, they be yelling and all that, and half drunk, you know. And it's bothersome to even to listen to. We have to go and tell these guys, man, hey, pipe down and all that shit, you know, because kids out
yeah,
there. You got, as you
because
say, you got the old mamas out there, the way that they
yeah.
be dressing out there trying to get children. Then you got to deal with the male relatives with that crap, with that shit. So the kids are getting it
Well,
on both sides. They're getting trauma on both sides.
for a person to bring a loaded firearm to a little league game, you are already you're assuming that you're going to have to take vengeance, right? Because
Hmm.
it's not like he ran to the car and got the gun. The scuffle broke out and he pulled it out. He had it on
Hmm.
him. So you're
So that means
already
he went
thinking,
there. He went there looking for trouble.
yes, yes, you
He
already
went. He
thinking
went there looking for it.
something gonna go down. That's why you got your damn pistol in your pocket and you're on the sideline with a bunch of little children. Because I think that guy was like an assistant coach or something too. I know he's kind of connected, to that league because
Um,
his brother's
I,
like a former NFL player, and he
that's
kind of
probably
like
why.
sponsors the league or whatever. And he was on the sideline with the other team, so he was obviously thinking something that, oh man, I'm gonna have to pull my heat out here, even though all the people out there are 12 and under. Cause
Well,
like I said, it's not
he shouldn't have
he
been on
didn't
the
run and
field in
get
the
that
first
gun.
place.
Yeah, he didn't run to no car and get that gun. The scuffle went down, and the next thing you know, you hear 4 or 5 gunshots.
Yeah. He shouldn't have been out there in the first place. He shouldn't have been on that sideline in the first place. Now I'm not privy as to what I know I know we in the YFL, so the coaches got to be certified and they take fingerprints and all that type of shit. So they do all these background checks. So I don't know, and you got to take their certifications and stuff. So uh, I don't know I don't know what that league is about that they let that happen. So I would hope that they would be happy that they made some changes to that. I know in our league you can't be on the field, even if you're a sponsor, you can't be on the field without going through the league protocols. So that must have been
It's just
some. I don't know. I'm not gonna speculate, but I really
some
will
ghetto shit.
question.
It's
Right,
some
I really
ghetto
would.
shit, man. It's some
And
ghetto
let's see.
shit,
There
brother.
you go.
Perfect Black. You won't say it. I'll say it. God damn it. It's some ghetto shit. But yeah, man. I mean, like I said though, man. from all reports, man, the brother was a good brother, man, and
He was a
you
good
know,
dude. He was a good
yeah,
dude.
he lost his life over some bullshit because the Negro's stupid out there. And I mean, you hear this shit because you know I talk about that kind of stuff all the time, man. It's just stupid, man. And this dude's got a rap sheet. Uh, he done was
Longer
caught
than
with a gun.
I-40.
Yeah, he was caught with a gun before. Threatening to shoot folks at some nightclub a while back because right here, as a matter of fact, let me see. In fact, let me see here. Let me pull this up. Hold on, y'all. Y'all know I'm old. Pull this up for y'all right quick. Let's see. Damn, now I done lost it. Hold on. Let me bring this back down. Because this dude here, the dude who shot him, his name is Yakub Akib. Yakub Akib, I think his name is. His brother is Akib Taib. His name is Yakub Taib. His brother, his brother is named Yakub Taib. His name is Akib Taib. These are some stupid fucking names. But these some stupid fucking names. But here,
Yes,
let me show y'all. Let me show y'all. Let me go ahead and wait, bring that down. Do this. This is the brother here, right? This is the brother who shot Hickman. His name is Yakub Taib. All right. I'll get a good look at him. That's Yakub Taib. And his brother, he did the shooting. This guy here that y'all are looking at, he did the shooting on the football field. His brother is Akib Talib, and he is a former running back or cornerback for the LA Rams.
No, he's a cornerback. He was a pretty good one too.
Okay.
He was a pretty good one.
Now this here is the scene out there where the brother was shot. This is the scene here, right, where the shooting took place. Right? And this is when it broke down, and y'all can see the pistol in his hand here. Right here. I'll see the pointer. That's the pistol in his hand. Now, at this point, they're not even physically fighting at this point. They're not physically fighting. They're actually separated. He pulls out a gun, shoots the man dead. Okay, this is another camera angle. This is him with the gun in his hand, looks like. I'll see there, they're separated. There's nothing going on now. He raises the gun and he shoots the brother dead. I mean, and like I said, this was all over a bad call by the ref. all over the bad call by a referee, y'all. Man lost his life over that.
Over nothing. Over
Over
nothing.
that. I mean, just it's a terrible thing, man. It's a terrible thing. Like I said, man, it's you come to a football game, man, with a little kid, man, little league football game. You got a gun, all right. You on the field with a gun. I mean, what do you say about this kind of stuff, man? I mean, it's unfathomable, man.
It's
Doesn't
inexcusable.
make it. Yeah, man. Doesn't make any sense. But being that I got you here, brother Perfect Black, because I know you want to rap about something, so you go ahead and let it fly, brother. Now that I got you here, you can go ahead and let it fly, brother. You got it.
Well, I don't have that much time, but do you have the article? And did you
Uh,
read through it?
yes, I
It's a
did.
lot of it's a lot of gems in there, isn't it?
Yeah, I did read it. Let me see if I can pull it back up here. Hold up a second. Let me go through some of this shit. I got a lot of shit in here. Let me see. Let me go through my damn.
Man, I do apologize. I got so caught up today.
Let me go through my shit here. Yeah, well, I kind of figured you was working or whatever, because I wasn't even gonna stream tonight, but I wanted to talk about this because sometimes a brother just want to get some shit off his chest.
Hmm.
So I figured I would come and talk about this, and I was gonna let people come up and open debate it, but nobody did. Nobody wanted to come up, or they didn't want to discuss it. You know, I don't even know what the hell I did with the shit. I got so much shit in here. I don't know what the hell I did with it. Hold on. Let me go back up here. Let me go back up here. I don't even know what I did with the shit. A lot of shit in here, brother Perfect Black. There's a lot of shit in here. That's a lot of shit in here. I don't even know what the hell I did with it, man. God damn. I don't even know what I did with the article. But
I got the article, but I don't have it on this laptop. I got it on my main computer. You know what? You know what? Let me, where my phone at? Let me, I think I'm going to try to resend it to you.
okay,
Give me a
if you
second
could.
here.
If you could. If you could. And while Brother Perfect Black is doing that, I actually just received y'all an email from the credit solutionist, and I'm trying to get her to come through. She did say, she wrote me and told me that she was willing to come through and talk about some credit. So, yeah. So, just to hit y'all in the head with that, while Brother Perfect Black is looking for that article. So, look forward to seeing her come through possibly next week. I gotta see what her schedule looks like, and I will try to get her to come through. And also I need to reschedule the moderated discussion between the good mother and Brother Supreme. I need to do that as well. So, but y'all will see the thumbnails and all that kind of stuff. So,
All right,
you
brother.
know,
Let's check your email.
okay. Y'all just give me a day or two to kind of organize this stuff, and y'all look for the thumbnails and y'all will see it. But right now, we're gonna check out this article That Perfect Black just sent me. Let me go ahead and pull this up. Here we go.
Yeah.
Says here, good folk. Ex-transgender teen recounts horrifying experience of transition surgery. I wonder if they'll try to flag my shit if I show this person. I wonder if they'll try to flag my shit. Matter of fact, let me take it down, y'all, because you know YouTube is crazy.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
just read it.
Because it's yeah.
I'll just read it. I'll just read it to y'all. How about that? I'll just read it.
I can always pull it up on mine so I can follow
Yeah.
along.
It says Chloe Cole was 15 years old when she agreed to let a gender-affirming surgeon remove her healthy breast, a life-altering decision she now deeply regrets. Her brutal transition from female to male was anything but romanticized gender journey that transgender activists and medical professionals had portrayed, she told the Epic Times. It's a little creepy to call it that, she said. Cole, who is now 18, feels more like she's just awoken from a nightmare, and she's disappointed with the medical and school system that fast-tracked her gender transition surgery.
Oh, stop right there. Stop right there. Listen to what she said. The school fast tracked this thing.
Yeah.
So the school, they are the ones who are really promoting this transgender bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
I need everybody to keep that in mind. Go ahead.
She said it's a little creepy to call it that, she said. Cole, who is now 18, feels more like she's just awoken from a nightmare. She's disappointed with the medical and school system that fast-tracked her gender transition surgery. She said she was convinced that it would make me happy, that it would make me whole as a person, she said. Although she feels let down by most of the adults in her life, she doesn't blame her parents for following the advice of the school. Now, why would the parents
Yeah.
follow the school advice pertaining to their child's surgery, a gender-altering surgery at that?
Exactly.
Why would the parents listen to that? Like, I don't know, but it continues. Following the advice of school staff and medical professionals who affirmed her desire for social transitioning, puberty blockers, cross-sex hormones, and surgery. Most of the medical professionals did nothing to question or dissuade her or her parents, she said. They effectively guilted my parents into allowing them to do this. So the parents were allowed themselves to be guilted by the medical professionals and the school.
Exactly. Now keep in mind this is a kid that's at the time I think she was like what 14, 15 years old, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And the parents allowed themselves to be bullied into their child to do sex change and sex change hormones and all this other type of stuff. Hormone blockers and all that.
And this is basically, one can assume that this was based off of the child, I guess, convincing the teachers and everybody else that this is what they really wanted. So in turn, the doctors in the school went to the parents and they said this. They gave them the whole either you'll have a dead daughter or a live son thing.
Mm-hmm.
They cited suicide rates. She said there's just so much complacency on the part of the educators, all the adults basically. I'm really upset over it. I feel a little bit angry. I wasn't really allowed to just grow. So basically what they did is told the parents, hey, look, you better go ahead and let the kid do this because that they might try to do something to themselves. They might try to hurt themselves. They might try to kill themselves. They gave them that whole bit, like, because she said they literally said they gave them the whole either you'll have a dead daughter or a live son.
The shaming tactics.
Yes. Yes.
Just some basic shaming tactics.
She said her parents, though skeptical, trusted the medical professionals and eventually consented to their daughter's desire for medical interventions, including surgery, which was covered by their health insurance policy.
Now,
It shouldn't be
now,
put on the adolescents to make these kind of decisions at all, she said.
notice how this stuff is covered by the insurance company.
Yes,
This is an
yes.
elective type of surgery, and it is covered by the insurance company.
I mean, now I see a picture of her here talking at a assembly committee hearing
Mm-hmm. Yep.
for
Yep.
Senate Bill 107.
Yep.
Um, she says here underneath the picture, she says she thinks that it's really dangerous for families across the U.S. It can tear families apart, said Cole, who is expected to testify against the bill again this week. Cole has been harassed on social media and received a couple of death threats from trans activists since she announced her detransition and took a stand against gender affirming policies. Now that I'm completely disillusioned from it all, it's really shocking that we've gotten to this point, she said. She said she was diagnosed with ADHD at a young age. Cole now believes she's on the spectrum. This is a really high comorbidity rate between gender dysphoria and autism, she said. Though very feminine as a young child, Cole was a bit of a tomboy as she grew older. I just really hated dresses, skirts, and things of that sort, she said. Children's TV shows had left her with the message girls are less significant because they often depict characters who are more girly or feminine as stupid, airheaded, and like like just get in the way of things, she said. And that kind of imprinted on me. However, her real fear for her femininity and early disdain for womanhood began years ago on social media and LGBT websites, she said. She said she started puberty fairly young, about 9 years old, and I started to struggle with growing into a woman. She started her first social media account at 11 on Instagram, which is
Now,
problematic.
or it gets worse. But I find it really interesting that they let this child, who has been diagnosed with ADHD, among other things, they let this child choose to change her sex.
Yeah,
I mean, you
yeah,
wrap your head around it for a minute. And the schools were really guilting her parents uh, uh, to do this, to let this child make this decision who they have medicated for ADHD.
mm.
Make that make sense.
Well, obviously the parents they didn't have their eye on the ball because it says here she started her first social media account at 11 on Instagram, and with nearly unrestricted access to the internet, she was
Listen to that.
exposed she was exposed to inappropriate content, including pornography and sexting in the online community. So the parents weren't paying attention to shit. She was basically able to do whatever she want, right? She's 11 years old. She's watching porn. She got an Instagram account.
11 years
Um,
old with free reign to the internet.
oh yeah,
And her parents let her have it.
yeah. 11 years old. She's on Instagram. It says on Instagram she was first approached by boys who identified as L Gibbets through the platform's messaging feature, but eventually began spending more time on recommended sites for 12 to 19-year-old L Gibbet teens. She said that there was one particular page that stood out to me. It was a bunch of adolescents who identified as other L Gibbets. It seemed like they were very closely knit, a very supportive community, and it just kind of spoke to me because I always struggled with making friendships and feeling excluded. I never really fit in with other kids my age. She said she interacted with other L Gibbets in real life, but she noticed from online discussions with other L Gibbet teens that many of them had deep emotional scars and mental health issues. Well, obviously she did too because 11 years old, you're watching porn, you're on Instagram, you're on L Gibbet websites, and you got L Gibbet people in your freaking inbox. Not only does that speak to your lack of supervision, um, that also speaks to your coming outside of the realm of being a kid.
Exactly. You're not even allowed to be a kid. Now keep in
So,
mind the human brain don't fully, it's not fully developed, physically, fully developed, biologically until between 18 and 25. Here we have an
mm,
11-year-old that's being allowed to act like an adult and make adult decisions, no less.
mm. Well, I'm moving down to when she says she transitioned. She said when she was 12, she told her parents she was L-Gibbet, and they sought out professional medical help. She went to a gender specialist who referred her to an endocrinologist. The endocrinologist refused to prescribe blockers or hormones, citing
That
concerns
stood out
about
to
how,
me.
citing
That
concerns
stood
about
out
how
to
they
me.
could affect her cognitive development. He became the first and last doctor to ever deny her gender affirming care. See, he was a decent doctor. The other
He was like,
doctors were full
no,
of. He said, "No, I'm
He
not
was like,
doing this."
nah, we're not doing this. Not for
Yeah,
this age. No, we're not doing this. And they promptly went to another doctor who would.
yeah. She said it was very easy to find another endocrinologist who would affirm me. She said after 2 appointments, a second endocrinologist approved both puberty blockers and testosterone.
That's horrible.
So 2 visits, they pumping her up with drugs. She said they put her on the blockers first. She said she would get hot flashes. They were bad. They would happen kind of sporadically, and it would get to the point where I would feel really itchy. I couldn't even wear pants or sweaters in the winter. It was like an artificial menopause. She said once on testosterone, her voice dropped pretty low and her breasts got smaller and lost their shape over time. She says she stayed on the puberty blockers for 18 months and testosterone for 3 years. The hot flashes ceased when she stopped taking the puberty blockers. She said at school I was an awkward kid, but had made a few more friends online and in person. But because she had only come out to her closest friends, she had to deal with anxiety over the possibility of being outed. She says she never told her teachers her preferred name or anything up until high school, but I was presenting in men's clothes and shorter haircuts. She said a few months after she was prescribed testosterone, she said she was groped by a boy in the middle of her 8th grade class, which was so chaotic no one noticed, including her teacher. She said the incident sealed her decision to wear binders to flatten and conceal her breast. She said she had a relatively small chest, but it still did a bit of damage to me. My ribs are a little deformed because of them. The way they work, it's not like the breast just disappeared. They push the breast into the rib cage, she said. She recalls her first binder sticking to her skin in the hot Central Valley, California weather and her chest feeling constricted. It was just the most uncomfortable thing, blah, blah, blah. Let me see. She said before her operation, she attended a top surgery class with about 15 other LGBT children and their parents to learn about the different types of incisions. She said in hindsight, it felt like propaganda, the words they used like gender affirming care and things of that sort. She
Hmm.
said it feels like she was being sold a product.
Yep.
Now, when they make big money off those surgeries, they make
Yep.
big money off those surgeries. Wow. She said they take off the nipple and reattach it in a more masculine position. After they remove it, they take the nipple off and reattach it. Hmm.
Yeah. And they let a child make this decision.
Yeah.
An autistic ADHD child make this decision.
On all types of medicines and whatnot. A freaking kid that's got an Instagram and watching pornography at 11 years old.
Exactly. I don't have no. Look, once you become an adult, do your thing. I mean, we live in America. If you want to do that thing, if that's your sort of thing, do it. You're an adult.
Yeah,
This should not be allowed for children.
absolutely not. So it all comes back to the parents, right? But then
Exactly.
again, they did say that they had uninhibited access to the internet at 11. So the parents
Yep.
weren't giving a shit. They were letting them do whatever they want. Obviously, obviously, they on the L Gibbet websites. They watching pornos. They doing all this shit at 11 years old. So the parents just were letting them do whatever.
I mean, they're not, blocking any of the sites. They're not monitoring or nothing. And there's all kind of parental tools out there to where you can block those type of sites on your home network. There's all kind of tools where you can, follow where your kid is going without even touching the device. So the
Yeah,
parents weren't even trying to parent. They weren't even trying. They just let their
yeah,
child do whatever that the child wanted to do. Because we live in a society where we give children way too much room to try to be adults
yeah.
when their brains are not even ready for that.
Hmm.
Not even ready for it.
So she gets this operation to go from a girl to a boy, and then she wants to go back to being a girl again.
Hmm.
Uh, It's well, something's wrong with this girl. Obviously, something's wrong with this girl, but it's the
But
parents, man.
yeah, and it is the parents, but it didn't. The things that she was saying to when she was a kid, she sounded like most tomboyish. She sounded like most girls that go through that tomboyish phase. They don't want to really wear dresses and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
That's normal. A lot of girls that I grew up, a lot of girls go through that stuff.
Hmm.
They took it as something as being, oh, she is trying to be a boy. No, that's a natural, normal process for girls. A lot of them do that. At least most of them that I knew, they had that tomboyish phase, but they grow out of it.
Yeah,
I mean, in
because
that.
the parents had to already be halfway there though to let the school and the damn doctor talk
Hmm.
them into this. I mean, they had to have one foot in the door already, right? Because
Already, yeah.
if they were against it, they would have been like, "Hell no, I'm not letting my kid do this." You would think
No.
that's what they would have said. They would have been like, "Hell no, I'm not letting my kid go through this. She's 12. She's 13. She's whatever. Hell no." But they actually agreed to it.
Hmm.
And not only the doctors, the school was pushing this shit too.
And see, that's the thing that really bothers me. And it really, I don't want to say the trigger. But I got a 10-year-old daughter, and she goes to a school where they have these gender neutral bathrooms. And see, this enrages me. They got these
Yeah.
damn gender neutral bathrooms.
Yeah, those bathrooms that you can go in or you can claim whatever you want to be that day and just go in there.
Exactly.
So you got your little boys in there with your little girls and they all in one freaking bathroom. I mean, I just think I just think that's
That's a recipe
that's
for disaster. That's what that is.
man, it is, man. That's got problematic written all over it on every wall in that damn bathroom.
Hmm.
All right. I mean, I just think because down here, they got into a big kerfuffle over that, because they literally wanted it so that whatever you claimed you was that day, that's the
Exactly. Yeah.
bathroom you can go
I,
into.
I forget what they call that.
I mean, you could be a big 6'8" grown ass man with a full beard and mustache and say, you know what, I'm a girl today, so
I'm a girl. I'm
I'm
a 10
going
year
into
old
the
girl
girls
today.
I'm going into the girls' bathroom. Like,
I'm a
no
10-year-old
way,
girl today.
no way they could think this made sense. Like, I don't know, man. All I
But
can
see, you,
say,
you got to
man.
think you have whole state legislatures
Yes,
that sat down and wrote law. You know how hard it is to write legislation? You know the steps you have to do the steps you have to take, the researches you have to do to write legislation. These people wrote legislation to bring this stuff into fruition, to bring it
Yeah.
into law and force schools to have to abide by it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how sickening this is.
It's ridiculous,
I mean,
man.
this isn't just a one-off where it just accidentally happened. People have to think about this stuff. They have to sit down and contemplate it, debate it, and then put it on paper.
Yeah.
It's not an easy thing to pass laws in this country, either at the federal or state level. It's not an easy thing. You just don't go to the, I'm an elected official, let's put this into law. It doesn't work that way. You got to go through a whole entire process. That is not a very easy thing to do. So when you think about what they've done with this to even allow for this child to make this type of decision, you had you had whole Congresses, state legislation, whole bodies of law. These people sat down and thought about this and wrote it and then voted to affirm it and voted on it to pass it.
Yeah.
I don't think people really understand or fathom what would it take for just how under assault children are, for that to happen. For an 11 or 12-year-old child to be able to say who is autistic and got a confirmed ADHD patient, to be able to say, I want my sex to be changed, and for the medical establishments to cover it, and for schools to browbeat the parents in order to do it. You know what has to happen. There's certain steps that have to be taken for that to happen.
Yeah.
This did not just happen overnight, and it really speaks to where this nation is at, and just how much of an assault on just how much of an assault on children that it is, and actually an assault on manhood.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree, man.
I mean, it's just horrible.
Agree.
I mean, you let a 12-year-old girl, 12-year-old, chop her breast off, have all these hormone blockers, all before she even got out of high school. Now, when I was reading that article, I'm sitting up here looking at this like, this is all before she gets out of high school. She's not even out of high school yet.
I don't get it, man. Well, we live in a time now, right, where people say, none of this matters. It's okay. It's all static. This is the right thing to do. I think people, in a sense, now I totally disagree with them, but I think sometimes people actually think this is the right thing to do. They think this is the right thing to do. They think they're doing the right thing. I'd like to believe that this is what they're thinking, because why else would they do it, right?
Well,
I
tend to think
they didn't think it was the right thing to do.
I think it's and maybe this is my 10-4 kufi. Right, that's on my head now. But I think this is really more of an agenda to sexualize our children.
Oh yeah, there's that too.
And this is an agenda to sexualize our children, because when they have this thing, the P word, the P.O. word, to be not not some type of disorder, but it just they want the talks is to make it a sexual orientation.
Yeah.
And couple that with stories like this.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I really do. I really do think that this is a deeper level to sexualize our children, to set them up for all kinds of stuff. And for us, a black community, I think we need to really push back against this. I think we need to push back against this because this is horrible. You know, my
Yeah.
brother, my brother say depopulation. He's right. It's all in the this stuff here. It's an agenda, man. You sexualizing our children in the public school, and we are paying our tax dollars for this. Again, you have to really. When I was sitting back and thinking about this, is what we're paying our tax dollars for.
Yep.
They are taking. They are taking. We are compelled to pay taxes for this.
And it makes you wonder, man. But I'm a believer that
You should post that link to it. Post that link post that link so everybody can go to it and read it themselves.
yeah, I will
Because
do
there's some
that as
jewels in there.
well.
There's some jewels in there, man.
I will put it in the chat. Don't just listen to us. Go ahead, check it out, y'all. Read it for yourselves. Read it for yourselves, folks. And tell me what you think of it. Hit me up on my email or something. Y'all know what it is. Y'all see it on the screen. Hit me on my email, man. Let me know what you think of the article. Because I kind of just scanned through it because we kind of short on time. So
Yeah. Because it is a long
y'all,
article, but I read every word of it. It's man, if you go through that whole article, man, you can do shows on so many things just on those things. It's terrible. It is terrible. You know.
y'all go ahead, man, and check it out for yourselves, man. And hit me up on my email and let me know what y'all think. Because I was actually, before you came up, I was actually about to wrap it up, Brother Perfect Black.
Oh, okay.
Because, yeah, you know, because
I
I
mean,
only wanted to go. I was only going to go like 2 hours tonight anyway.
Mhm.
So, you know,
Yeah, and I got caught
I
up.
was
But
I
I
was
mean,
I was
when
going
you
to wrap
listen
it
to
up.
this, I mean, it should be a cautionary tale for a lot of
Mm-hmm.
parents because
Yeah.
I mean, she now she's embracing femininity now, but there's a
Yeah.
lot of scars to it. You know, she can never breastfeed.
Yeah.
She can
There's
never do
that.
any of that. She has certain pains now that will never go away. That will never go away. And all because of a tomboyish phase that her parents mistook as some type of gender dysphoria or something.
Yeah.
See,
I mean,
we're normalizing, identity crisis. That's what we're doing. And I say we in general, the society is normalizing identity crisis.
yeah. And we are, I think, one of the great problems with this kind of stuff is that we are allowing children to make decisions that should be reserved for adults.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, because you got a kid and they come to you and you say this kind of stuff. I think the proper conversation to have with the child is, hey, look, you're a kid, you got a lot going on in your little head right now. Um, but when you're an adult and you move the hell up out of this house, you can do what you want. But while you're a child and living here, this is what you're going to do, and this is what you're not going to do.
Exactly.
Um, that's where I would be coming from if I ever had had to have that conversation with the kid. Like, I mean, I just don't think that children should be making adult decisions, and I see that as an adult decision. Maybe I'm wrong or whatever, but I just think that that's an adult decision. I don't think that's a decision that someone can make when they're 12 or
No,
13 or 14. Nah, man, nah,
because those are life changing decisions, much of which
absolutely,
you won't ever be able to get back. You can't turn back the hands of time on that. To make those
absolutely,
type of decisions, like when she was
absolutely.
getting the breast chopped off at that age, cutting the ducts off, so now she would never be able to breastfeed. Even and she spoke about it in the article. they were saying that she didn't want to do any more surgery because she had so much surgery. She didn't want to do anymore, even though they offered to do breast, enhancements and all that to where she can at least have breast, but she can never breastfeed, and she didn't want to go up on a knife no more. And this should be a cautionary tale because I mean the stuff that she said that she went through, the pain and all that she went through, she wound up regretting like a year later. After a year later, she started to regret the stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I just think that, I think that once you're an adult and you've come to certain decisions about your life, you can act on said decisions. I just don't think that a major decision like that, number one, a kid is like, their mind ain't even totally developed to be thinking
No.
on those terms as far as I'm concerned. Um, and again, you're the parent, you dictate the pace. So I don't think you should leave those decisions in the hand of a freaking 12-year-old. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, no matter what they're saying, fine. 12-year-olds say a lot of things. They say a lot of things. But to let them go ahead and just undertake some life-changing, mind-altering kind of stuff, I just think, to me, that's just a bad idea. Um,
It's
you
a
know,
horrible idea. You know,
yeah,
it's it's a
I don't know what
it's
they
a
was
horrible
thinking
idea.
as parents. Yeah, I don't know what they was thinking as
No,
parents.
I know what they was thinking. I know exactly what they. I'm looking. I've been looking at this picture of my foster mother. She's still alive. In St. Louis. But when I was a kid, she would always say this, and when I was a kid, I didn't really understand it. I just didn't understand it until I became an adult. She said, "Chaos is the home that has a democracy."
Mm, mm,
I was like, "What are you talking about?" And it took me into my 20s before I understood that term. But when you think about it, it makes sense. You have a home that has a democracy. That's chaos.
yeah,
Everybody has an equal vote.
yeah.
That is a chaotic home. Homes should not be a democracy.
Hell
Homes
no.
are dictatorships.
Absolutely, they
And
are.
I know that everybody that's listening across the
It
nation,
is a it is a
it is a
monarchy.
dictatorship. It is exactly. You have the king, queen,
Yep.
and then you
And
have the subjects.
yep. And subjects. It is a monarchy. This is no democracy.
There is no democracy. And I can tell you right now, that child's home was a democracy. And you
Yeah.
see what you get right there. There it sits. There it
Yeah.
sits right there. When you have a home that is a democracy, that's what you get.
The
Right there.
11 the 11-year-old has a vote. They have
An
a vote.
equal vote. They have
An
an
equal
equal
vote
vote.
at age 11. At age 11.
And 11 years old, I vote to watch porn and
Yeah.
have free
And
reign
have
of Instagram.
yeah, and have an Instagram. Wow. Yeah, that
Man,
that
when I
that
was
shit
in
bad,
man,
man.
when I was in high school, my foster mother didn't let me have a TV in my room.
I just
I
don't.
had to graduate from high school to get a TV in my room, and by that time, I had already left.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the monarchy is better. A monarchy is better in the house. That's better. That's better.
I got a 1.5-year-old toddler. I don't let her sit in my seat. I don't
Mm.
let her sit. That's the king's seat. And nobody sit in it. Damn it.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's the way it's supposed to be. Shit, that's the way it's supposed to be. If
But yeah,
everybody's got a vote, all hell breaks loose.
exactly. Chaos is the
Oh,
home that has a democracy.
yeah.
Those words, whenever I read about stories like this, and read how she used to do whatever she wanted to do, my foster mother's words come back to me.
Mm,
They do, and I'm like, and look, I just had a baby, I got a toddler at
yeah.
home, and I'm thinking like, yeah, I can't let that happen. No, no, it ain't gonna. No, this is gonna be a dictatorship. I'm not even gonna say. a nice dictatorship. It's going to be a dictatorship. Period.
Hmm. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Because I damn sure didn't grow up like that. Shit. My old man would tell you in a minute. This is a castle. I am the king. My word is law. All right, his word was law. There was there was no damn democracy in there. There's no democracy. What he said was that shit might as well had been in a law book.
Right. See, I understood dictatorship. I did. I understood it. Democracy was something that I had to really, that was a concept that I had to really look at books on. Like, okay, so I need to go to the library on that to try to, I know I live in America and that's supposed to be a democracy, but I have to go to the library. That's before the internet.
Yeah,
I had to go to the library and look at this stuff. But I understood I understood a dictatorship. Oh, because that was a dictatorship. We had to
absolutely.
go to bed at a certain time. We had to wake up at a
Hmm.
certain time. Even on the weekends, we had to get the fuck out of the house, do some chores, and all that
Yeah,
type of shit.
all of that, all of that. And guess
And
what?
see, now
It
they can just
makes.
stay in bed with their devices and stuff that they
Oh
didn't
yeah,
earn, unearned
yeah,
devices. They go to school and get all these badass grades, but they got phones, they got they got free reign of social media and all that. And
yeah. Well,
this is the results.
we live in a society now where bad behavior is actually rewarded.
Hmm.
Bad behavior is rewarded, man.
And
It's
masquerades as the norm.
oh yeah, oh yeah. I don't know, man. Just uh,
But this should be a cautionary tale to all you, especially in the black community. This should be a cautionary tale for all you, laissez-faire parents. You know,
yeah,
all you folks out there who are in these the alphabet communities. You know, the rainbow community and all that. There it is, right there.
yeah,
And see, this
yeah,
is the dark side of it that even the media doesn't want you to know. They don't want you to know a good deal of these people who getting these sex changes and all that, or just like her. They regretting it
yeah,
because it was encouraged and pushed upon them when they were children. They didn't have the proper parents on them to tell them, no, you're just going through a phase of tomboyish. Deal with it.
yeah.
You know,
Um,
it's a shame. And you know how the schools are doing this, how the schools are encouraging this. Public schools, you pay your tax for it, you pay for it. Your tax dollars pay for that. That's what I'm trying to work my ass off because I want to try to put my daughter in, and I'm going to try to put my kids into public school. I mean, in private schools. Because if this is what I got to fight with, and the state ain't gonna change it, yeah, I need to put my kid into a private school. I have to work my ass off, to pay the tuition for a private because I can't do that. I can't because I'm gonna go to jail. Let my daughter come home one day and find out that she got touched because she was in one of those bathrooms and one of those damn perverts was up in there because he felt he was a girl that day.
yeah.
So
It's just nuts, man. But I'm about to wrap this up. I appreciate you coming through, though, man.
oh,
You know,
absolutely, man, absolutely.
I appreciate you
Thanks for
coming through,
having me,
man.
man. Thanks for having me,
Oh,
especially on this subject. Because when I was reading this, man,
absolutely.
I was getting, I was like, man, this needs to be talked about, especially within the black manosphere. This needs to be talked about because some other stuff that was in there about how she talked about feminism, the feminist movement, and all that. At that right there, oh man, that this article is not a good look for feminism. It is a horrible look for feminism. I encourage everyone that's listening to read that. That is not this is not a good look for feminism. This is the reason why it's been buried. You don't hear about the story. You didn't hear about this on the national news.
Well, maybe next week we might circle back and because I got a couple shows coming up because I actually got I got a couple show requests that came through my email tonight, so I'm gonna see what my booking looks like for next week. Cause the last show of this week is gonna be Saturday. I got a debate coming up this Saturday.
Who's
Um,
debating?
Clue's coming on, and he's doing a challenge because he's saying that black is a cult. So he's gonna do a
Black is a cult.
challenge.
What do you mean
Yeah.
by that?
I don't know. That's something he's always said that he think black is a cult, and he's
What,
gonna
is,
come
what
up.
does he mean by black? What in terms of the color or the concept of Black America? What does he mean by
I think I think he means. I don't want to speak for him, but I think he means the concept of black in America. Um, but like I said, he's doing a challenge. He's gonna come up here and lay down his premise. How we
that?
do
Is
it
he one
here.
of these type of people that say black, African American or black is more of a construct than
Um,
reality?
yeah, he
Oh
thinks
God,
race is a construct,
the race is a construct.
a social construct. Yes.
Race is a social
So
construct.
so he's gonna come. He's gonna lay down his premise, and whoever want to come up and
I
challenge him
gotta,
can.
I gotta hear him before I criticize it. I hear what he got to
Mm.
say first. Because
Well,
I'm not I don't really like to do a lot of these debates. I do like to listen to him though, brother X. I like to listen to him.
yeah.
But
Well,
a lot of
it
these
goes
times.
down Saturday night. Saturday night it goes down. It goes down Saturday night. He will be here.
And the
So come through,
race is
man.
a construct. Okay, all right,
Yeah.
yeah.
So come
I
through,
I
man.
I, I
I know you
think
might be working or something, but come through Saturday night.
Saturday night. I think I'm probably gonna be more at home. But then again, I might have. But I think I'm gonna be more at home. So
Okay.
um,
Okay.
and I'll make sure I'll be looking to see what's going on YouTube Spaces. So,
Yeah,
but
come through, man.
that's gonna be one that I'm gonna. You may have to send me a reminder on that because I need to listen to that one. I gotta really listen and take note. You take notes
Okay.
before I criticize it. But
Okay.
I think I know where it's going with it, but I think that race is a construct. I got an idea of where that's gonna go. I just think that race is a construct thing. I think over 500 years of human history kind of debunks that, but I need to hear what he got to say.
Well, I
Yeah.
assume it's going to be quite a few challenges. I told him, I said, it's going to be quite a few challenges. So he said he ready. He taking on everybody. So we'll see what happens. He said he taking on everybody who comes. So we'll see what
Well,
happens.
based on what he said, and based on what he said, if it's really, really educated, I might do a little challenge, but it needs to be educated. It needs to be educated, and I'm not trying to do a lot of arguing, or I ain't trying to do a lot of shouting. I like, intellectual back and forth as opposed to a whole bunch of shouting
Yeah,
because it
well,
nobody learns anything.
one thing I can say about Brother Clue, he's not, he's not that kind of brother. He's pretty low key. So it's not. I know it's not going to be a shouting match. Not with him. He's not even that kind of brother. So it ain't going to be no shouting match type crap. Should be interesting. I'm actually looking forward to it, man. I want to see. I want to see how it
I
goes
just think
down.
that whole idea. I just think that whole idea of the race of the con. It assumes a lot.
Hmm.
In order for the logic to work, it assumes a lot. That's just my personal. That's my personal opinion. It assumes a
Hmm.
lot. And I don't think you're ready to shut it down. But the race is a construct, idea or theory or logic. It assumes too much.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like I said, it goes down Saturday night. So whoever want to take Brother Clue on, he will be here Saturday to take you all on. So make sure you're here. Y'all know we jump off 8 p.m. Eastern time. So make sure you're here Saturday night. It goes down. So, but yeah,
I
man,
will, bro.
I appreciate you coming through, man. As always, man. My Chi-Town brother, man. I appreciate you, brother.
All right, bro. Thanks, brothers, for letting me up, man. And like I said, sorry for being late because I got all caught up.
Yeah, well, we'll circle back and talk about it some other time. Maybe next week we might circle back and do something on it. I just got to see what my booking looks like because I do got a couple of requests. I want to see what it looked like this week. But I'll hit you up, though. I have your phone number.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, bro. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, I hit you up, let you know what we got going on next week. All right.
All right, cool, man.
All right, my brother. Peace.
Peace.
My brother. Brother Perfect Black. My Chi-Town brother. Yeah, man, we're gonna go ahead, man, and wrap it up. I was hoping that someone would come up and, you know, tell me I was wrong or tell me I had it all mixed up but no one came. No one came up to voice it. No one came up to say, "No, X, you don't understand the difference between justice and vengeance, man." No one did it. But when it comes to being out for justice and being out for vengeance, like I said at the top of the stream, I think being out for justice, you're trying to right a wrong, right? Being out for vengeance, you're just trying to get payback. And I guess you can kind of juxtapose those things and say one is the other, and, maybe you can. I don't know. I'm only giving you my opinions. This isn't scientific fact. I haven't researched it for 35 years. But I think there's a difference between justice and vengeance. Like Brother Perfect Black said, vengeance is fleeting. Because once you get that eye for an eye or that payback, that's pretty much it. It's over, right? It's short term. And depending on what that eye for an eye is or that payback is, someone can now turn around and seek vengeance on you, can't they? You put yourself in a position where vengeance can now be taken out on you, right? Depending on what it is. But I think justice is different. Justice involves consequence. Justice ends a cycle. Not only does it right the wrong, it makes the person deal with the contrition of the wrong as well, right? Especially when you're talking about like criminal justice, right? Person does something, they commit a robbery or a murder or burglary or something like that. They get caught by the police. They are quote unquote brought to justice. They are put in a penitentiary. Therefore, contrition is achieved, right? Now, you may argue with the criminal justice system and say, hey, well, they gave out too much time for X, Y, and Z. They give these people too much time for this. Now, you can argue that. That's debatable. But some degree of contrition is made once this person is, quote unquote, brought to justice. Because you're brought to justice, right? You don't really get justice when you do something out of line. When you do something over the top, you do something wrong, you do something bad enough to do serious prison time over, you don't get justice. You are brought to said justice, right? At least that's how they put it. Because whether you like it or not, some contrition is going to take place, right? It's going to take place. And while that contrition is taking place, the wrong is righted. You killed this person, you do life in prison. You robbed this bank, you do X amount of years. It ends. If not forever, for quite a bit of time, because now you are not able to do anything else. You're not seen from or heard from again outside those penitentiary walls. At least until you get out, whenever that is. But vengeance is different, right? No one brings you to vengeance. Vengeance is usually reaped upon you for something you've done, and someone seeks to do that or something greater to you because of what you've done. That is vengeance. But it doesn't always stop there, because with vengeance, when you reap vengeance on someone, you have now put yourself in a position to have vengeance reaped on you. I think those are the biggest differences between vengeance and justice. Vengeance is more short term. I think justice is more final. I think that's what distinguishes the two. But what do we seek as people? What do we seek as people? Do we seek justice? Do we seek vengeance and disguise it as us seeking justice? Because, see, justice can disguise vengeance, but I don't believe vengeance can disguise justice. And I may be wrong about that. I don't know. But I do believe this. I believe we should seek more justice and less vengeance. More justice, less vengeance. I think more is gained. I think more is gained from justice. And it may not appear that way in the beginning. But I think justice more is gained. Again, a wrong is righted if it's justice. When it's vengeance, all you doing is settling a damn score. But that's all. I appreciate everybody coming out tonight, man, as always, man, you know. But before y'all get out of here, y'all know I got to hit y'all in the head with T.P.O.T's programming notes. Yeah, it's time for programming notes, man, because you know the T.P.O.T YouTube page chugs right along. And tomorrow, Brother Clue will be here. Well, not tomorrow. Well, yeah, technically tomorrow because after 12 o'clock. But Saturday, Brother Clue will be here. And he will be taking on all challenges. Like I was telling Brother Perfect Black. Brother Clue says that black is a cult. The cult called black. And Brother Clue will be here. You know, when we do the challenges, you come up here, you lay down your ideas, you lay down your premises, and whoever wants to come up here and challenge you can. This week is Brother Clue, and he'll be laying it down. The cult of black. It goes down here, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Saturday night, right here on the T.P.O.T YouTube page. You Negroes know. Yeah, so come on up. Take the brother on. Brother Perfect Black said he might come here and take him on. I don't know. I'm predicting that it's going to be quite the lively show because I know people have a problem with Brother Clue's contention about black. So I'm assuming there's going to be quite a few challenges coming up, and they're going to be squaring off in the digital square circle, man. So make sure you're here. That's all I can say. All right? All right. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up, man. I appreciate everybody coming out tonight, man, as always. You could have spent your Thursday night anywhere. You decided to spend it here. And it is appreciated, man. I don't take you good folks lightly, man. I never have and I never will. You got my word on that. But I meant what I said, man. I think we need more justice and less vengeance. But that's just me. All right? All right. So, with that, I will leave you good folks with 3 words you know, like I always do. Open your mind. Peaceful. Thursday. DXL. It's
Dark Exodus.
live. Open your mind.
Dark Exodus. The protester. Dark Exodus.
Open your mind.
You know.
Yeah, X.
You know, you know, you know.
Dark Exodus. Dark Exodus. Dark Exodus.
You understand?
Yeah, X.
You know, you know, you know.
You understand? Open your mind.
Dark X. Yeah, X.
You know, you know, you know.
You understand?
Yeah, X.
Open your mind.
Dark Exodus. Dark Exodus. Dark Exodus. Dark Exodus.
Only from T.P.O.T. Media. Open